喂，123，123，听得到吗？Hello，Hello，Hello，Hello。好，各位好久不见，我们现在马上呢就来继续我们的，不是说继续，就来开始我们这个 Alan Wake Remastered。Alan Wake 就是它其实是一款老游戏了，很早之前算是，它是我忘记是哪一年的游戏，反正就是，我记得是13年，是不是13年还14年的老游戏了？我忘记了，反正之后再去查一下。反正这是我非常非常喜欢的一款游戏，它是以那种美剧的方式去呈现它的故事剧情的，然后是一个悬疑的探险，算是探险游戏吧，线性的那种那种就是剧情向游戏啦，对，好是比较偏悬疑类型的。他这次做了这个 Remaster 版，Remaster 版其实没有差特别多，主要就是它的画质比较高了，画质变好了，然后还多了2个 DLC， 还多了2个小篇章这样子。好，那我们就开始吧。
Stephen King once wrote that nightmares exist outside of logic, and there's little fun to be had in explanations. They're antithetical to the poetry of fear. In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but there can be no explanation, and there shouldn't be one. The unanswered mystery is what stays with us the longest, and it's what we'll remember in the end. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer. I've always had a vivid imagination, but this dream unsettled me. It was wild and dark and weird, even by my standards. So yes, it began with a dream. Following a typical nightmare pattern, I was late, desperately trying to reach my destination, a lighthouse. For some urgent reason, I couldn't remember. I'd been driving too fast down a coastal road to get there. I'd seen the hitchhiker too late. He was dead. I was convinced they'd put me in jail and I would never see Alice again.
Suddenly, 他的人物模型有变，整体的样子又再更好了一些。
Suddenly, his body was gone.
比较偏美剧的方式 ，Episode 1。
I was certain I had just driven from this direction, but now the road was blocked.
在家哲安安。这款我以前自己玩过大概3到4次左右吧。这款我真的玩，没那么夸张，应该2次左右，自己好像玩过2次这款。那这次出了高清重置之后，还是想再回来玩一下，因为真的。还在我心中算是很棒的游戏。咖啡保温瓶是它的一个游戏的一个收集条件，收集要素的。
books if it wasn't for your editor. You'll never publish another one of your shitty stories, 'cause I'm gonna kill you. It's not like your stories are any good. Not like they have any artistic merit. You're a lousy writer. Cheap thrills and pretentious shit. That's all you're good for. Just look at me. Look at your work.
这游戏至少5、6年前了，我记得是我大学时候的游戏，所以应该也有那么久了。这次打算趁高清重置，认真一点，把剧情的在比较细的地方都看完。
You missed your deadline. Damn.
好，没按到。对，慢动作就是代表他成功闪避。现在还有成就。
How does it feel to die by the hands of your own creation?
对，这个游戏是有体力限制的 ，Alan 没有办法一直跑。角色的模型都有整个重新雕过，他就是以前他不是以前主角不是长这个样子的，以前的模型看起来就比较粗糙一点，就即便你画质调再高，都看起来比较简陋，比较粗糙。这一次 Remastered 就有调整的比较详细。灯光下是会回血的，左上角那个地方会显示会回啊，像有点挡住，调一下，往这里好了。
I have something important to tell you. It goes like this. For he did not know that beyond the lake he called home lies a deeper, darker ocean green, where waves are both wilder and more serene. To its ports I've been. To its ports I've been. Do you understand?
No.
Follow my light. I entered your dream to teach you. The darkness is dangerous. It's sleeping now. When it feels you coming, it will wake up. There's no time. I can only show you the most important thing. The hitchhiker has been taken over by the dark presence. You can't hurt him now. The darkness protects him from all harm. Only light can drive the darkness away and make him vulnerable again. Here, take the light.
这游戏呢，战斗方法跟其他游戏很不同的地方是，所有敌人都要用手电筒先破防。一般就是这样照，就是比较省手电筒。如果你右键按住，它光就会比较强，但同时也会消耗你左上角你的手电筒的那个电池的电量。不过电池电量是会慢慢回的。那如果你用光之后，你就只能补充。所以除非很紧急时刻的时候，不然不会一直右键这样照一下。通常都会右键这样照一下，让它有个硬值就好了。破防之后就可以开枪了。然后你那手电筒你瞄的位置就是你开枪的位置。啊，一样是有爆头系统的。
Good, you've done well. Remember what I've taught you. That is all. I will give you back your dream now. 谢
谢部首的抽奖活动，按赞分享啊。OK。礼拜4才开始啊，礼拜5才开始，所以我希望我能礼拜5之前把这游戏玩完。啊，还是会挡到哦，看一下，要把它丢去哪里啊？下面会不会好一点？慢慢调吧。通常一般状况下照的时候是不会这样，但是如果它太靠近的时候，你可以这样照一下，它就会硬直。这样照一下就会硬直，照一下硬直。一个省手电筒电量的好方法。通常在玩梦魇模式的时候才会这样做啦。一般模式下应该是不需要的，因为梦魇模式要稍微省一下电量，不要太浪费。我在这里没有看到一个。这里通常就是会给一些补给，就是你的补血地方登几下都会给一些补给，信号枪啊之类的东西。信号枪是比较强的那种武器，有一次 L1 的范围效果，有点像拔蜡的，有点像手榴弹的那种作用，就是同时带破防跟攻击的效果。白痴就不小心走出去。这里。啊，这右上角也挡住，我再移一下好了，到这里。通常会省啊，通常会省信号枪，很好用。太靠近的时候再按一下右键，让它硬直就好了。 Alan 变帅了。
Baby, just another nightmare. Everything's fine. You dozed off.
Right. Anything more than dozed off would be news for everyone.
Cheer up, handsome. We're here.
他老婆也长得不太一样啊 ，Alan 的胡子变多了，比起旧版、重制版，他胡子变多了。重制版之后的贴图细节都变得很好虽然人物动作看起来一样生硬，就是，但这其他的贴图细节都是旧版没有的，很明显的就漂亮很多。这个人是那个后面一个关键 NPC。
Hello there. You picked a good time to visit our town. Deerfest is just 2 weeks away.
Deerfest, huh? Did you hear that, honey?
You have a lovely wife, if you don't mind me saying. I'm Pat Maine, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm Alan Wake.
I won't pretend I don't recognize a famous writer such as yourself, Mr. Wake. A pleasure. I'm an avid reader myself. I hope this isn't too presumptuous of me, but I'm the night host at the local radio station. Any chance I could get an interview?
Look, Mr. Maine, I'm on vacation. In fact, I'd appreciate it if we could keep my being here just between the two of us. I'm sure you understand.
Fair enough. You can trust me to be discreet. Not a hard man to track down if you change your mind, though. I hope you two have a lovely holiday.
Very nice. I got a couple of really good ones. And I see you made a friend. That's cute.
Right. Yeah?
Hey, bestseller. How's my favorite writer? Are you there yet?
Barry. Yeah. We just got here.
Are the locals giving you trouble? Just say the word, and I'll hop on a plane and come make sure that you're left alone, Al.
No, Barry, we're fine.
Great, great. Just want to make sure you can relax and recharge. So, how is the place? Has it gotten your creative juices flowing?
Barry, we're just settling in.
Okay, Al. I'll call back later to make sure you're doing okay. And you call me if there's a problem, okay? Okay. Just looking out for you, buddy. Talk to you later.
I love you too, Barry.
Barry 是他的经纪人。
Barry is Barry. I can always turn off the phone.
What did I tell you?
Text message from Barry. He says hi to you too.
这是主角是一个知名小说家，然后但是他爆红了之后，他就没有下一本书的灵感了，所以才被他太太带来这儿，说是来度假的。
We need to stop at the local diner to get the cabin key from the landlord, a Mr. Carl Stuckey. He's waiting for us. I'll go fill her up while you get the key. I'll pick you up here in, say, 15 minutes?
Sure.
Alan, thank you for coming here with me.
I love you too. Go on. I'll promise to behave.
我觉得他老婆以前比较漂亮，旧版的时候。
I'd forgotten there were still places like this. Towns where everybody knew everybody.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner.
Hi, I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking for...
Mr. Wake. Alan Wake. Oh, God! I am your biggest fan. I know people say that all the time, but I really am.
I'm glad to hear that.
Rose.
Rose, I'm looking for Mr. Stuckey. Carl Stuckey?
Carl? Oh, of course, Mr. Wake. He must have gone to visit the restroom. He'll be back in a moment. I can't believe it. I've got all your books. I got the cutout from the bookstore when they took it out of the window.
And you keep it here. Well, okay. Good for you. Right. So much for a quiet vacation.
Try the coffee. Just don't blame me when you fall in love, 'cause it'll break your heart when you have to leave.
Rusty here is no longer human. Nothing but black coffee under a thin layer of skin.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
Do me a favor, Sonny. I could really use a tune right now. Coconut, number 6 in the jukebox. I'd do it myself, but both of my legs have gone to sleep. Bad circulation. Yeah.
Are you serious? Coconut again? You disgust me. Call yourself a rocker. Unbelievable. Ha!
You put the lime in the coconut. Drink them both up.
Just because we're brothers, don't think I won't
It
murder
does that.
you in your
Get stuck.
sleep.
Yeah, you need to give it a good hard whack. Yes, that's my favorite tune. Coconut. Now that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
This is it. I've died and gone to hell.
Don't go in there, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
I think I can handle it, ma'am. I didn't want to wait. I wanted to find
You don't
Stuckey,
wanna
to
die,
get the
do
key
you?
and get out as soon as
Worse.
possible. The waitress was giving me a headache. Overeager fans always did.
疯狂粉丝，等一下，再调个东西，都开了，好吧？我觉得还是有一点点锯齿状，这样会挡到什么东西吗？好像还好嘛。
Hello? Mr. Stuckey?
Carl couldn't make it. Unfortunately, he was taken ill. But I have the key for you and instructions on how to get to the lake.
Okay.
I wish you a good stay in my cabin. I'll come by later to check how you've settled in. And to meet your wife. I insist.
Thanks.
Cauldron Lake is a special place. Very inspiring. You got lucky this time, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark. This really ought to be fixed, and then I must remind Sarah.
You all right?
感谢 Christopher 的追随，谢谢。
Splendid. Damn hernia. It swells up like a balloon if I lift anything heavier than a spoon. Yeah. Splendid, splendid. It's been a long time, Tom. Good to see.
The Andersons, they're, local musicians. We're waiting for Dr. Hartman to come pick them up. They wandered off from his clinic at the Cauldron Lake Lodge.
第53章的诊所是一个精神病院呐、啊，那两个从精神病院跑出来的。
I'll be heading.
Bye, Mr. Wake.
Mission accomplished. The key and the directions.
My hero. I got some flashlights, just in case.
Mrs. Wake! Your keys!
That diner was a real nut house.
Can you believe this place? This would make a wonderful setting for a book.
We're supposed to be on vacation, Alice. I'll figure it out when we get back home.
我调整一下，底下字挡到了，拉到这里好了。
Okay.
Okay, we can talk about this later.
Bad man here on PBFF.
I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to bury my head in sand.
Here's another one of my favorites to go with it.
Once upon a time, I was a successful writer, but that was a long time ago. I hadn't been able to write a word in 2 years, not since my last book.
And now the weather. It's gonna be a clear night, so you folks in the big city might want to look up every once in a while, see those stars winking down at you. It gets pretty dark out here, but they'll light your way.
这好像也会挡到不少东西耶，再调一下好了。
Wow, it's
调到哪？我看一下。这边吗？试试看。
gorgeous, Alan.
It's something, all right. Don't worry, honey. I'll get you inside safe and sound before it gets dark. And I've got the flashlight.
I know. I'm okay.
Alice had a phobia, the fear of darkness. I wanted to make sure we were inside with the lights on before sunset.
"记得这个爬到上面去，好像有什么东西的样子。重制版的贴图精细度就更好了。
The cabin obviously got its name from the shape of the island. It looked like a giant bird leg. Alice had mentioned that the lake was a caldera. There was a dormant volcano under it.
"那个不拿其实不会怎么样啦，只是那就是一个收藏，咖啡保温杯不拿其实不会怎么样，就是一个收藏要素而已。我记得拿完好像会给一个那个篇章的样子，之后就会出现那个篇章了，就是它会完善整个故事设定的东西，在游戏里也是收集要素。
It's dark in there. We need lights. Can you figure out how to get the power on, honey?
A shoebox filled with books by Thomas Zane sat on the shelf. I'd never heard of him before.
Hello? Anyone here?
For a moment, the oppressive feel of the nightmare I had seen on the ferry returned. Damn.
对，友善提醒一下，这游戏是会有 jump
I
scare
needed
的
to。get the power running in the cabin. There had to be a fuse box or a generator somewhere on the island. The cabin looked like a time capsule from the 60s, or even earlier.
这个细节不错。
best guests have already started to arrive. Just ran into one on the ferry. Famous artist, no less. We'll see if we can rope him into an interview later on. Now let's go to the phones. Caller, you're on KBF-FM.
Hi, Pat. It's Rose.
Why, hello, Rose. What's on your mind?
I know who that famous artist was. It was Alan Wake, wasn't it? He's my favorite writer.
Well, Rose, I
你被传出去。
Oh, I am so excited he's here.
I'm sure he's glad to be here too. Well, folks, I got the secrets out.
The power cable goes to that shed over there.
广播也是可选择听跟不听的，那个不会影响到太多，但如果能听完的话，一样会有比较良好的，让你比较好了解它整个主线的架构啦，更多细节上设定的部分这样。
An old generator had been connected to the power cable.
The lights are on. Good work, honey. I'll freshen up a bit and start settling in.
Okay, I'll look around a bit.
The island had once been the site for a love story. Maybe it would be that again. It was a beautiful place. I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, and forget about my work. I thought we could be happy here.
Alice? Honey?
Alan, I'm upstairs. I have a surprise for you.
Well, hello there.
I'm not the surprise. It's in the study. Go take a look.
Okay.
Surprise!
Alice? What is this?
I guess I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here that a change of scenery would get you past...
Damn it, Alice, everyone keeps...
Hey, just hear me out. There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He specializes in helping artists. Maybe...
So now you want to get me committed?
No, it's not like that. That's not... Alan? Alan?
Just don't! I don't want to hear it. God damn it, Alice! God damn it! I knew she wouldn't follow me in the dark. I needed some time alone to think things through. Damn it. Alice? Alice? Alice! The cabin had gone dark. All the lights were out. Alice, I'm coming! It's all right, I'm coming! What the hell?
所有小怪里面，我觉得乌鸦应该是最麻烦的一个。
Alice? Alice? Oh no!
Keep going, Alan. Wake up.
Alice? Waking up in the crashed car felt like I had woken from one nightmare and entered another. I couldn't remember how I got there. All I knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice. The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot.
又回到我一开始走到那个山上来了。
Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either. The gas station was my best bet. They'd have a phone I could use. It looked like a long hike through the forest to get there. Damn.
Hello?
Hello? Is someone there? The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
好，这就是原稿，就是故事的收集要素。它每一章每一个章节都会有原稿，这种后面有图案的都是你要玩梦魇模式才会拿到的原稿。
Departure by Alan Wake. The man turned to face me. His face was covered in shadows. It was hard to make him out in the darkness of the forest that surrounded us, but the axe he lifted was plain to see. It glistened.
只是拿到原稿就能更了解这游戏的故事在讲什么，它的背景设定。
Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident.
The lights up ahead were a good sign. Maybe I wouldn't have to hike all the way down to the gas station to find a phone.
.这游戏的那个咖啡保温杯，就是那些隐藏要素都藏在一些很隐秘的地方，就是不太好找，就是你要刻意走过去你才会看到的位置。所以这游戏要完成收集要素是有点困难的，就不看攻略的情况下要找得很细了。
Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident. Hey! Hey, you!
Phil!
There's been an accident. I need help.
Listen,
Deposit.
I need to...
Premium cabins for rent in
Nightfall.
Oh, hell.
Carl Stuckey.
Pleased
To meet you. Non-refundable
reservation.
deposit required. Fair and square. Fair and
Where?
.原稿。
The Taken stood before me. It was impossible to focus on it, as if it stood in a blind spot caused by a brain tumor and eye disease.
你看这藏在这里，很麻烦，不认真找根本找不到。
to figure a way out of this. Any second now, and Stucky would be knocking on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
During your trying, it's the latest in
Yes.
Great Falls Sheriff Station.
Hello?
One stone.
I'd never fired a gun.
我忘记还有这个可以用呢。
And now I just killed someone or something. There were no bodies. They just disappeared. If I was dreaming, it felt real enough to make me sick.
然后这游戏是有一个这种东西的，在你平常你没有把灯点亮的时候是看不到这种，你没有拿灯或是拿手电筒照的时候是看不到这个看不到那个箭头的。然后你就沿着它这个箭头走，一直走，就会找到一些隐藏的东西。 通常会找到这种箱子，信号枪，就会有比较好的东西藏在那里面。
The dark forest was the last place I wanted to go, but I had no choice. I had to get to the gas station.
It's rabbit season.
好，这种是会丢飞刀的，这种的也很麻烦，有优先处理这种的。这种小地方都可以收一下。 有时候会有一些物资可以拿，或是原稿，这里就有原稿。它的原稿不是照顺序给的，它就是轮流给的。
As far as she was concerned, her brief meeting with Alan Wake was literally the high point of her life. She watched as he got in the car with his wife. She was pretty, confident. What the hell was that? When I saw the river below, something uncoiled itself inside my head. I realized that I'd have to find a way across. I didn't even want to look at the water.
记得这边好像有一个，在这里。虽然我破过2、3次，但我从来没有一次把那个保温杯拿完过的。
Barry Wheeler was bouncing off the walls. He jumped on a plane after his calls were ignored by both Al and Alice for several days. It could mean that they were both on a second honeymoon. but Barry didn't buy it.
这游戏有路的地方啊，基本上都会有东西拿。
Stucky was still out there, in the dark, stalking me.
他那个收集要素的那个咖啡保温杯其实很不明显，因为它就小小一个，然后也不会说特别亮。我记得这游戏的敌人是不会掉任何补给品给你的，所以是要尽量省。啊，这就是那个隐藏物资。然后指哪里？圆。脱窗了吗？是没看到。 哦，是指那上面是不是？这毕竟很久以前的游戏，有些地方我已经忘了。上次玩应该是18年左右的事了，我记得我 Steam 上面是写18年的。
The staircase was broken. I had to make my way up some other way. I couldn't stay here. There had to be a way to get up there.
到数量限制，42发是手枪的那个子弹限制，不能再拿更多。
There was no power. There was bound to be a generator somewhere at the logging site.
"他丢之前照他一下就可以中断他要丢的动作。或是直接闪躲也行。
I heard them before I saw them, swooping down from the sky and screeching as they came. I spun around just as the cloud was upon me. For an instant.
霰弹枪啊！这游戏这种小地方都要找的比较仔细啊。如果你要完成全部的咖啡瓶收集的话，要总共100个在这个游戏里面。它这游戏很多地方会藏那个咖啡瓶，看那边，那里就一个，通常会闪一下，它的咖啡瓶会有一闪一闪的那种特效在。但说实在的，也不是那么好发现。 就如果你没有刻意走过来的话，你没有刻意去绕地图的话，你是不会看到的。我记得这个东西打掉会有成就，还是我记错了？我记得以前 Steam 版的时候，那个东西打掉是有成就的。有回血的地方。
Well, I was just outside for a breath of fresh air, and what a night! I know most of you are probably in your beds by now, but if you're still up and around, take a moment. Step outside for a spell and breathe in deep. The weather is absolutely still. The sky is crystal clear. It's like the forest is quietly breathing along with you. As you listeners know, I'm a night owl, and it's on nights like this I wish I wasn't cooped up in the studio. Makes an old man like me wish I could just roam wild. But here I am, and who'd keep you company all night long if I weren't? It looks like I'm not the only one staying up late. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Pat, it's Maurice Horton.
Hello, Maurice. What are you up to?
Well, I was just taking Toby on his walkies.
Oh, isn't it beautiful out there?
Sure, but Pat, the reason I called is that Toby heard something rustling in the undergrowth and took off after it, and I couldn't find it.
Probably a rabbit.
Sure. Toby loves rabbits.
Well, sure.
Anyway, I figured that, if anyone runs into Toby, they could grab him. My number's on his collar.
And Toby's a friendly dog?
Toby.
Comes back, but we were pretty far from home, and it sounds like he went pretty wild there. Great dog, but just dumb for his own good.
Well, Maurice, it's out there now. Hope Toby comes.
这里就又有一个。
You have a good night now.
这收音机其实可以不用听，但是如果你听的话，一样会比较了解剧情走向。然后它其实会给你一些游戏中的一些小提示，某些收音机的时候会给一些小提示。
At first, I kept finding the pages as if by accident. The book I couldn't remember was either a terrible and true prophecy. The gas station was closer now, its light welcoming in the darkness.
Paul makes the best dogs in the state. Belly Burster is the best with no contest. Monster Dog is second best. The famous dog is...
通常这个声音的时候，都是怪差不多要出来的时候了。好，不知道怎么取消那个。有两个一起照。靠腰，我们又切回手枪，浪费一发。亏。还错打了一发信号枪出去，不过很多7发就是一般模式就是资源比较多。Safe Haven， 然后被怪追的时候就躲回阳光下，光下面怪就会消失，但是它还是会在这个区域里，就是它是不会消失的，就除非你把它清光。 因为比较近的时候可以用散弹枪。
I stepped into the gas station's garage. It was dark and quiet. The place was a mess. It looked like someone trashed the place or that there'd been some kind of fight. Light spilled into the room through an open door at the back, and I made my way toward it. Without any warning, I was blinded by a bright light. An old...
都拿满了，手枪跟那个电池都拿满了。其实一般模式就可以不用那么省了。这边又有一个，这里。满满的信号枪欸，我怎么不记得以前就算是一般模式的资源也没有这么多啊？最好的方法就是直接打一个信号弹，全杀。当然啦，梦魇模式的时候就不能这样做，基本上信号弹只能拿来救命的时候用，一般就随便了。这个时候就有刚刚几发9发信号弹是很夸张的，那资源量爆多的。然后他这个还是没有改掉，就是他给的不是子弹，他刚刚给的是直接给的是一把同样的霰弹枪，他没有去改这个东西。然后这个我一直搞不懂是什么东西，就是游戏里面的一个那个电视节目，叫 Night Spring 吧 ，Night Spring， 夜权呢。
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I am Dr. Barclay Colvin, and I'm glad so many of you could join me here.
就像厕所，你们慢慢看。
Tonight, I'm going to give a practical demonstration of the many worlds interpretation. As you can see, this is a loaded 9mm pistol. It shall be part of a thought experiment. And now, a real experiment, known as a quantum suicide.
Did he say suicide? Is that a real gun? He's kidding, right?
Please, stay calm. There is no risk. Observe what occurs when I place the weapon against my own forehead. Now, you might think this round is merely a dud. Not so. Observe the flower pot. And yet, I myself cannot be harmed with this gun. With each pull of the trigger, 2 new realities branch off. One in which the weapon didn't fire, and one where it did. With my machine here, I have ensured that this reality is always the former. I have bestowed upon myself quantum immortality. Under no circumstances can this gun kill me.
So wait. What you're saying is that every time you pull the trigger, in another reality, you die?
Yes, of course, but that's completely trivial. There's an infinite number of things that could happen at any moment, and they always do happen somewhere. The point is, this one thing did not happen here. You're insane, Colvin. Insane? Insane?
Hey, was this thing supposed to be plugged in? I stumbled on it.
You fools! Gaze upon quantum immortality.
Poor Dr. Colvin, felled by his own hubris or the ignorance of the masses. Perhaps he should have left the crate unopened, the decaying atom unobserved. Curiosity often kills the cat. Night Springs.
对，总之呢，就是一个小故事，然后意义不太明，所以其实我每次都有看没懂。
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? She asked. The sheriff looked at me suspiciously. The early morning light flooded through the office windows. I would probably never have gotten out of the woods alive without her help.
他现在我可以讲一下，他现在收集到这些原稿都是你接下来游戏里面会看到的场景，只是他现在是分页给你的，也就是说你现在在玩的就是 Alan 现在在写的这个小说，其实就是就是他现在正在经历的故事。这边给满满的子弹，这边就是他打王了。可以看一下有没有偷藏保温杯，这种地方超容易藏的。其实没有收集完不会怎么样。通常王的血量都会，它那个圈都会比较大一个。然后王都会瞬间移动。其实这游戏的网都不难，主要就是你把它的外面那层外面那层黑暗给破掉之后，就很好打，基本上它就是一个人而已。主要是你要把它外面的那层黑暗破掉。可以回去拿一下那个子弹。这种通常放在箱子里面的都是无限的，都是无限子弹。
I recognized the parade float I had seen in Bright Falls when I first arrived with Alice.
他们还在船上的时候看到的。一开始的时候，我们还在那附近啊，我们是绕了一大圈这样过来到这个加油站这边。我们一开始的时候是在那里的。
Just experienced in the darkness, the lights of the gas station felt comforting, at least for a moment. The sane world reasserted itself. Stucky spat on the garage floor and tried to shake the cobwebs from his head. Ever since the couple never showed to pick up the keys, things had been fuzzy. Something, a feeling caught his attention. Stucky looked up and stared as his brain.
他讲的这个 Stucky 就是。
Been 2 weeks away when we arrived. If the day count on the banner was right, I was missing a whole week between the night we got here and now.
他刚刚原稿里面讲的那个 Stucky 就是那个原本要承租给我们小屋的那个房子的人，那个钥匙的人，屋主。
I had to get inside the gas station to find a phone to call for help. The garage was a mess. It looked like someone had trashed the place, or that there'd been some kind of fight.
这边就有一个原稿有讲啊，好像是在，我忘记哪一个，反正他刚刚有讲说，就是他到加油站这边的事。
I'll keep writing. Outside there's only darkness. Outside the cabin, outside the story, there's only darkness. I can feel her presence in the dark. Just now, I could smell her perfume in the room. I'll reach her, I'll fix it up. I'll bring her back. The story will come true. If I stop, she's lost. I don't believe this. It'd been me on the TV, talking crazy. Was I losing my mind?
那这游戏有些 bug 还没有修，好像这电视会闪，它这个泛光的这个 bug 这边它没有修好，这是以前旧版没有的，但是重置版有的 bug， 它一直在闪，会有点那些小点，有看到吗？那些小点一直在闪。
Oh, thank God, Sheriff.
Sheriff Sarah Breaker, you are...
I'm Alan Wake, but listen, I was in a car crash. My wife, Alice, she's missing.
Calm down, Mr. Wake.
We were staying in a cabin on the island, on Cauldron Lake.
There's no island on Cauldron Lake, not since the big eruption in the 70s.
Please, I can take you there, okay?
You look like you've taken a pretty bad knock to the head. Are you okay?
Listen.
We'll figure this out. Please get in the car. We'll swing by the lake and then we'll go to the station, okay? Mr. Wake, have you seen Stucky, the guy who owns this place?
I realized I couldn't tell her what had happened in the forest. She wouldn't have believed me. And then she wouldn't have helped me with Alice.
Stucky 就是他刚刚打的那只王。
On Alan Wake. I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with me. I thought maybe you could write here.
I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice! Now, she's missing. Alice? Alice? I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at. But the cabin had disappeared.
那边就进到 Episode 2。
Honey, I'm home.
Back here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up.
这炫光，这也太夸张了吧？这炫光程度有点离谱诶。我怎么样调整它会好一点？好像它其实没有什么可以调的地方，就是了。有时候闪过去就是这样，这些游戏的 bug 要等游戏厂自己修才行。
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow. Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
现在调成效能看看 ，DLSS 可能效能看看，亮度。跟亮度没有关系，算了。
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow. This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge.
These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called. Alan? Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay. Hi.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll
今天
just
不要再
break out the
闪了，
cameras.
好不好？
I know it's stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know?
优化没做
It
好。
gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job.
然后一到亮的地方，就是那个闪的状况就会开始出现，或怎么样。
I'm sure she can
What?
locate your wife in no time.
Hello？ 越调越糟，整个画面都白了，是怎样？厉害了，从检查点开始吧。哎，不是啊，整个都白了，白痴。
If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker,
你听到我在走路。
She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a...
我的天！
Previously on Alan Wake.
Honey, I'm home.
哎，整个都白掉是怎样？是因为我调了什么东西吗？可是这个一定要开。
Back here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
搞屁呀！
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up.
现在整个黑掉了，也是厉害的。看这游戏优化也太差了吧？不是 Remastered 吗？
Honey, I'm home.
等一下，我整个游戏重开好了。这也太离谱了吧！不是调个图形设置而已，就变成那样子，三小。
Previously on Alan Wake. I came to...
Honey.
终于正常了。
Back here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
还是不要再乱调东西好了。
It'll warm you up.
这本就快速带过啊，刚刚都玩过了。
I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow. Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
亮点的问题好像解决了。
I think you get them done this quickly. These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called.
Speed run.
Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey. Honey, it's a power outage.
Hi.
I've got the flashlight.
You okay?
Okay. I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
我们就跳过，一路跳到警局那边。
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
亮点问题就这样解决了。 Yeah.
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine.
I don't have the luxury of being complacent, Deputy Grant. The bulbs will need changing soon. You can't change them in...
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake?
How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
Watching you.
I need some fresh air. Can I go out? In the back, maybe?
Of course, Mr. Wake. I understand. You can get there through the cells. Deputy Grant can show you the way.
I'm sorry. All of this, it's just a lot to take in.
Take your time, Mr. Wake. I understand. Can I ask you what the call was about, Mr. Wake?
It's personal.
Well, we are looking for your wife, and I'm going to need your cooperation if I'm going to help you.
I need a moment, after I get some fresh air.
Okay, you can find me here. We'll talk when you feel up to it.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
I thought he'd quit drinking for good.
I couldn't go anywhere
No
yet.
such luck.
I had to play
He's not
along
a
with the
bender and
caller.
be damned,
Alice's
but
life was at
sadly,
stake.
He started shouting like that the moment he woke up.
Hey! Hey! I need more light in here. God.
Yeah, it's Mulligan here. I'm at Stucky's gas station with Thornton. There's no sign of him. Over.
Wait. Yeah, this is Thornton. Look, we've located the brake book. It's here. That's some good news, right? Stucky was supposed to be driving it at the rehearsals today. Over.
Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really thrashed the garage. Over.
Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stucky. James out.
你说实在，现在 Alan 的嫌疑很大。
Hey, mister! Hey, can you turn the lights on? The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me. I need it to be bright in here. Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're alright. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got...
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was
all wrong. See? Sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward. Okay, listen, you gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me, I wasn't drunk then.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, "Go through the fence on the left."
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while. God knows I... Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deerfest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting, the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? There's no point in getting all worked up yet.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting.
其实这有点爆雷了，就是他那个原稿是有点爆雷的，
The caller meant business.
爆雷接下来的剧情。
Barry? Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Al, what the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently...
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey! Oh my! Take it easy.
狠狠的开扁。
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him!
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan. She even has a fan site dedicated to you. And she was very helpful when I was looking for you. Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car, just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? Are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice.
Do you
and everything's
understand
just
what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bugtooth Charlie.
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No. This whole thing is... Listen.
龅牙查理是指这个吗？
Head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too.
Look, Al, you're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air. That's just crazy talk, Al. Al? Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her! This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. You're my best friend and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be deliverance all over again.
Bless you.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission.
这游戏有在白天的时间不是很多，基本上都是在晚上，所以才需要手电筒。我的信号箱都被警长没收了。炸弹也是。
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in back. I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage. just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety.
Tell me about it. No sack race for us older gentlemen, huh?
Yes, exactly. But I'm going to check out the parade, of course.
Crime and punishment. The cancer and cure of civilization. But some crimes are impossible to punish, especially in Night Springs. Tonight's episode, The Man in the Mirror.
He's inside, Agent. He's a weird one.
So, you're confessing to killing that guy, huh? Why?
Had it coming?
Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, you're a nice guy. Normal. Took a kid to a soccer game. So how come at the game, you pick a guy and, quoting from the arresting officer's report here, assault the victim's head area repeatedly with the weapon of choice being a pair of bare fists? Wow, that sentence really flows, huh? Maybe you're not the literary type. Okay, so you mess him up. But why? Who was that guy? We couldn't ID him. Why would a guy like you do him like that?
I didn't like his face?
Well, you must have hated it, because you really went to town there. I mean, there's no way to tell what he looked like. No ID on him either.
That must be difficult.
But then we ran the fingerprints. Got a match. Your prints. Identical.
Huh, how about that?
Your son said you were wearing a white shirt when you took him to the game. But the white shirt is on the dead guy.
It's plenty red now.
You won't get away with this.
Do you really think that's in any way relevant to me? I had plenty of time to talk to my boy before the cops arrived, you know? He won't stop screaming, am I right? You think he's ever gonna be okay? I left my mark. Believe me.
You bastard.
What? You gonna shoot me? What's the point? I'm going to prison. You got me.
I don't understand any of this.
And you never will. Don't worry. Maybe you'll see me again, Agent. Maybe in the mirror.
Rose knew that Rusty was in love with her, and she liked him too. She liked him a lot. He taught her to dance, and life had certainly taught her the value of a man who was gentle. He treated her well, made her smile. The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his... The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming! Please, help me! Anybody? Help me! Help me!
Aha. Rusty 就是我们一开始碰到那个我们承租跟他借房子的那个警官。
The ranger's office was locked. I'd need a key to get in. The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way.
Hello? Back here. I'm back here.
Mr. Wake?
Oh, hell.
It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
爱的狗狗。
Good boy.
抱歉。
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on.
对，果然有藏，有没有？你不来看，完全不会知道这里有保温瓶。
At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
Rusty!
The ground was covered in flaming patches, liquid darkness.
这个踩到上面是会受伤，所以这个是一样是可以让它把它照掉的，可以加速让它消失。
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Please don't feed the animals. Fishing for those who purchase a park license.
Rusty.
Rusty, no!
Never. Closer than 100 yards. Two bears and wolves never approached any other. Closer than 21 yards.
这游戏的战斗都很简单啊，手电筒开枪，手电筒开枪，就这样而已。月光都是一个检查点，跟补血的地方，既是补血的地方，也是检查点。
What the hell was that? I saw from the window. I saw something.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it. In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young. Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
"个额外的支线而已。我这个山洞比以前做的要漂亮多了。有岔路的地方就一定要去晃晃看了。对。好。Lover's Peak 就在这里，情人峰。对，这游戏是有机会在那怪还没出现之前先看到它，就是我刚刚那个状况那样子。
Nobody in Bright Falls seemed to know where Al was, but Rose, the waitress at the diner, had seen him. From what Barry could tell, Al pretty much fell off the face of the earth when he left the diner. Rose was just...
背景音出来的时候，代表说差不多又要出怪了。 是可以选择逃跑的。到灯光底下就没事了。但它的设计是这一区就还是会有怪，就即便你跑掉了，你只要没有站在灯光底下，怪就是随时都会再出现。那我比较大只的，血比较厚，光圈也比较大个。前面还躲一个，看到吗？应该是要避免打架的啦，只是因为是一般模式，所以就没差，尽量打。因为梦魇模式子弹真的很珍贵，还有手电筒。
I turned the corner, afraid of what the flashlight's beam might reveal. Suddenly, a roughly painted symbol of a torch glowed in the light. Behind it, hidden by a...
这些那个补给箱的东西都是有人可以留下的。这个我一直都不会躲。嗷！这样一轮打下来，子弹量也剩不多了。 其实在很多细节的小设定上做的还是不错的。
Agent Nightingale didn't want to be in Bright Falls. These little communities revolted him, and he didn't like
Agent Nightingale 是比较后面的人了。手电筒的电那个也是够猛，可以照超远。
We gotta get moving. More of them coming. That flashlight's kid stuff. The flares will keep the bastards away.
讲的新武器了，信号火炬。
Come on, we gotta move. Why? Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but
let's move.
I lost my gun back there.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on him.
It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak. There was no way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper.
哎呦，干！
Come on, Wake. You better.
哎呦，还好躲掉！哎，你快开枪好不好啊，大哥？被气死！其实这边 Alan 判断的还蛮好的，没错啊，他就是绑匪。按照那个逻辑来讲的话，他的确就是绑匪，没错。按照他小说，他自己小说那个原稿上面写的那个样子，故事发展的状况下来看，他就是绑匪。
Use the flares from the emergency box to hold them off while I get these boards off.
Give me the gun.
Yeah, no can do, Wake.
Are you kidding? Give me the gun!
No time for back talk. Hold them off, damn it.
只能用火炬了。
Move it or lose it. That's right. Better get ready. They'll be on us soon.
对，藏在这种地方啊，这很鸡掰，不仔细看的话根本找不到。
This is it, Wake. The last stand. There's more flares here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun! They're coming!
That's not how this goes. Get with the program, Wake.
其实 Alan 的逻辑也很奇怪，为什么一直要他把枪给他？把枪给他的话，他自己就没用了。不过说实在，他也早就知道他是绑匪了，所以蛮合理的，就是。
Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
I knew you were gonna say that. I read it all before. You're a hell of a writer. Congratulations. You're gonna bring about something glorious and terrible once we get you some proper editorial control.
What the hell are you talking about? Where's Alice?
I want the entire manuscript, or she's gonna suffer bad.
You touch her mouth.
但是拿回枪了。
No! Come back here! I swear I'll kill you if you hurt Alice! Do you hear me? Come back here!
He had Alice, and he wanted the manuscript because he thought it held some magical power. But I had no manuscript to give him. I had to get back to Barry and figure out my next move. On more than one occasion, Alice had tried to explain to me how it felt to be afraid of the dark. To her, darkness wasn't simply the absence of light.
这一段我不记得了，其实前面的时候都还有印象，这段我真的不记得了。
Warned me about these traps. I wouldn't want to get caught in one of them. Those teeth look nasty.
在梦魇模式里面是没有那个提示的。只要一被夹，旁边就有怪跑出来。到。
Sarah didn't care about the legal threats Wake's agent had made. She let Wake go without argument, because there was something about him she couldn't quite put her finger on, something that reminded her of her father. She didn't think Wake would hurt.
太晚放了。这边真的是没什么机会收，因为这边怪超多的。 有时候就是得及时reload电池，没办法。对，或者说我现在拿的这个是猎枪，不是霰弹枪。
The night had been one desperate situation after another. I was exhausted, and my body felt as though it had been chewed up and spat out. The flashlight was heavy.
Hmm. 因为怪是无限出，时间到它就一直出，可以选择不理，直接进这里就好了。
I had heard the plane fall. It made no sense. It was clear that it had just fallen here. It was very old and obviously hadn't flown in decades. Looking at it sent a shiver down my spine.
.这箭头指哪里啊？嗯，应该在这附近才对。嗯，哪里呀？他指这边，对我来说，这应该很快就要看到下一个箭头才对啊。这里。这边，我先把那个飞机往下压才拿得到。这边要往哪走啊？明白。 我以为那是原稿。那个保温杯。然后没路了吧？没意外应该是往左边走。嗷！嗷！到底几只啊？这边用到好多资源，人气还行，勉强还行。哦，哦，踩到这个。踩到屎。
The logging site was a mess. The modular office had been pushed off the cliff. Deputy Thornton climbed up from the wreck. When Barry saw the darkness attack the visitor center, it made him a believer. The men Al said he'd shot, they hadn't been just locals on crank. Somehow the world had changed.
那一段我真的完全没印象了，不知道是不是他有改过还是怎么样。我这段真的完全 The darkness wear her face。
Shadows stirred and the wind picked up as I ran through the forest. I felt the dark presence turning its gaze toward me.
黑暗魅影，对，以前的翻译也是叫这个黑暗魅影。好，撞到，哎，怎么在那不动？弹药都满了，真的。伐木工。打这种比较血比较厚的这种王怪的时候，那个是打不掉的，就是没有办法用信号枪一发打掉。然后这种王怪是没有办法用普通照去破的，一定要用右键强光去照。要在那边梦魇模式就要省了，这种一般模式就不用了。
Stay out of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door.
What am I, crazy?
Stay hidden. I'll be there soon. Just make sure you keep the lights on. I still had to reach Barry at the cabin, but at least I was out of the woods. I'd have to get the car from the locked garage. It would get me back to Barry faster, and the headlights were a welcome bonus. The FBI agent's command froze me in place. I considered surrender,
It was all falling apart anyway.
刚又是怎么回事？又是一个大破图。
A story is not a machine that does what you tell it. A story is a beast with a life of its own. You can create it, shape it, but as the story grows, it starts wanting things of its own. Change one thing and you set off a chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing. The characters have to be true to themselves. The events need to follow a logic that fits the story. A single flaw and the magic is gone. The story dies. Alice dies.
小。啊，这边是知名场景，某鲁姓实况主就在这边创造了一个知名场景。这边算是一个 jump scare。常这种机车的地方，这些都是我还记得的、啊，有些那个不记得的，真的就不知道在哪里。台车开，然后相信这里一定还有很多我没有找到的东西，只是我不知道东西在哪而已。那个就算了。你看这里就有一个保温杯，这个就得下车拿。好，在高歌离席。啊，那边还有一个原稿，所以也得下车拿。嗷！给他一个火炬啦，给一个尊重。这边就是不要打，这边就是完全不要打，因为这边打了就是浪费子弹而已，这只会越来越多。 说我车子快坏了。但是原稿跟那个保温杯都藏在一些很奇怪的地方，你不下车真的不行，你走着。你看像这个地方，这地方一定也是要下车，一定也要下车去拿什么东西，不然不会刻意开一条路在这边给你。原来这是让你走的，不要啦，不要啦！这边应该就没什么好拿，这边就是那个警长的警长嗝屁的地方，这边就应该就一路回到小屋去就好。这边就是强制让你用走的了。鸟群很烦啊，鸟群真的很烦，鸟群真的是非常非常烦的怪。
The flare gun was probably the best weapon I could imagine against the dark things I was facing.
火炬是没有伤害的。嗷！火炬是没有伤，火炬就只有那个烟而已。这个就那个信号枪就是有伤害的。房子我之前都看过了。
It was the kidnapper.
You son of a bitch! Where's my wife? Enough horseplay, Wake. You deliver the manuscript, and you can have your woman back. Simple as that.
I don't... Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it. I still need to write the ending. I need a week.
Not done?
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you'll get your wife. If not, well, get me?
Yes, I get you.
Barry had talked about birds over the phone.
So glad you're here. A couple of them got in here before I walked the chimney. This is normal. These birds are weird.
鸟群非常烦啊，所以把最中心点的那一只照掉，不然的话不会结束。这样才会结束。最好让他打两三轮吧。好。哎呦！ 但不要钻到房子里去，好不好？ I think.
Hey, Al. I'm sorry for thinking you were having a psychotic episode, man.
I sent Barry to the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnapper's description. He'd go through the archives of the local paper. Perhaps he could learn something. Anything about the island and the cabin that had disappeared. The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try to write him one to get Alice back. For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for real, and I couldn't put a single word on paper.
Barry Wheeler speaking.
This is Rose.
Rose?
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Oh, you sweet, brilliant girl.
Could you and Mr. Wake come get them? I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll be there in less than an hour.
Bye now.
See you soon.
Have a great day. Hope you come back soon. Welcome to the old dear diner.
Good girl.
那已经被控制了。
Previously on Alan Wake, Alice has been kidnapped.
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
I can't tell anyone except my agent Barry.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her. You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head.
The ransom is a manuscript I supposedly wrote that's coming true before my eyes.
It happened just the way it was on that page. So dark.
I have found only a few scattered pages.
I want the entire manuscript.
The deadline is in 2 days.
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Good girl.
我记得总共有6章啊，总共有6个 episode。
I don't know. She's resourceful. I told you you were too hard on her. Listen, I found out all sorts of interesting stuff while I was digging around.
Yeah.
Mr. Wake, it's Sheriff Breaker. We have an FBI agent here, Agent Nightingale.
FBI?
He's anxious to see you. You'd better come to the station.
Okay, I'll be right over, Sheriff. Let's make this quick, huh?
Help you folks? Name's Randolph. I'm the manager.
We're looking for Rose. Works as a waitress down at the diner.
Rose, sure. Nice girl. Who wants to know?
I'm Alan Wake.
The writer, huh? I heard on the radio you were visiting. Well, I'll show you her trailer. That Rose, she's a nice girl. Always pays her rent on time.
As I was saying, Al, I found all sorts of weird stuff from the local newspaper's archives. This place is crazy. Disappearances, mysterious deaths, urban legends come true, and get this, most of this stuff takes
会有点小 lag 的。把可视距离不要调那么高就好了。
place around Cauldron Lake.
Well, you ain't wrong, mister. The Indians thought the lake was a doorway to the underworld. I'm the God-fearing type myself. I don't hold with that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, there was an island there owned by a guy called Thomas Zane. Now, some of the articles I found about him make him out to be a famous writer. When I ran a bunch of searches, couldn't find a single thing he wrote. Zane was heavily into diving, so much so that the place came to be called Diver's Isle. But the volcano under the lake erupted in 1970, and Zane went down with the island.
因为这边有一罐保温杯，我记得看到了。
Come on, mister. I'll take you to Rose's trailer. Yeah, how about that? It was there in the morning, as if it had fallen from the sky. But it would take a tornado to lift something like that. We're damn lucky it didn't crush any of the trailers.
来卡，走快一点好不好？我只是住在哪一间啊？我记得是住在这啊，还没到啊。
It gets better. A local girl, Barbara Jagger, drowned in Cauldron Lake just a week earlier. They were lovers.
Sure, Jagger's a local spook story. The Scratching Hag comes for you in the dark. Childish stuff like that.
Anyway, Al, I'm just getting to the best part. All of the articles about this stuff were written by Cynthia Weaver. I asked around, and she's that crazy bag lady you met.
What, the lamp lady? She can be a little loopy, but she's not homeless or anything.
Yeah, anyway, she knew both Jagger and Zane before they both died, and she had some kind of a breakdown.
讲了 Thomas Zane， 就是一开始在小屋那个湖上小屋那边有个刻木头，上面有写 TZ 跟那个 Barbara Jagger BJ 两个人的缩写。站在门后的。
Welcome to. Oh dear, Mr. Wake. I'm so glad you're here.
Rose, you have my manuscript?
Oh yes. Yes. Please come in.
Hey, this is really good.
Rose.
Yes.
My manuscript. I really need it.
I understand. I know what you need. A muse to inspire you.
Oh, for Barry? She doesn't have anything.
Yeah, hey, Al? Al, what's... Oh...
Barry! What? What?
It's coming for you, hiding in my barber's skin. I'm too weak to stop it. You must turn the lights on.
I promised I'd come visit you and your lovely wife. You must finish what you started. I insist.
You must turn the lights on. Turn the light on.
Back to work, boy.
I felt nauseous, hungover. Only anger kept me going.
I can't tell reality from dream anymore, but it seems I have an imaginary editor to help me. She's an old woman in a funeral dress. I call her Barbara Jagger. She's very strict. I'm writing faster and faster. My manuscript is being heavily revised. The edits are getting very aggressive, and each day there's less of me and more of her. I hate it, but I know she's right. She promises me I can save Alice this way. She knows more of this than I do. About the complex incantation I'm attempting. About this place. She's worked with another writer under similar circumstances, Thomas Zane. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I'm getting close. I can feel it.
Rose took a day from me. I had less than 12 hours left to meet the kidnapper. All I could do was get Barry into the car, work something out once I got on the road. Barry was out of it. He was way too heavy to carry.
You're right. I deserve more money. I'm so handsome.
My gun and flashlight were gone. I'd have to find a way to get Barry. Mr. Randolph liked Rose. That little smile she had. How she was still sweet when life had tried so hard to make her bitter. It wasn't any of his business what she did in her trailer. But those strangers, the writer and his smart-ass sidekick, looked like trouble. And they'd been in there for hours, way past her normal bedtime. He reached for the phone and called the sheriff's station. Into the car as quickly as possible. There was no time to waste.
I just stepped outside to catch a breath of fresh air. Let me tell you, the weather's getting heavy. Nights like this make me especially glad I'm here talking to you and not home in bed. Once the weather takes a turn like this, I can't sleep at all. It's all tangled bed sheets and dark thoughts, punctuated by the occasional plunge into nightmare. Is it just me? Well, perhaps it is. But I hope I can make the night a little bit easier to get through. Caller, you're on KBF FM.
Hey, Pat, it's Walt Snyder.
What's on your mind, Walt?
Well, I ain't the way you are, but, well, I can't sleep either, you know? I just been staring out the window here, trying to make sense of it all, but, I ain't been drinking either, you know?
Well, you sound like a man with a problem, Walt.
Argument with Danny. You know, Danny, and, then I got in trouble with the law, you know, and, I'm just, well...
I heard something like that, Walt.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's, you know, Danny's my best friend, and, they let me out on bail today, and now I'm just alone here at the window, you know, waiting. Man, and there's something in the air tonight, man.
I was just outside looking up at the sky above our broadcast tower thinking the same thing. What are you waiting for, Walt?
I don't know. You know, something's gonna happen. You know, I think I better go.
Well, Walt, maybe...
No, thanks, Pat.
Well, good luck to you, Walt. Hang in there. Let's take a little break, folks. This weather's really something else, huh?
How can I be sure you will walk away?
Oh, you're gonna get it now. God knows what you've done to that poor girl. This is Agent Nightingale, FBI! Get him up, Hemingway! You're under arrest! You move a muscle, I'll unload right in your goddamn face! Stay right where you are, Slane!
突然变骇客任务。
What are you? I'm standing right here, you goddamn maniac!
I hated to leave Barry behind, but there was no way I'd miss my appointment with the kidnapper.
Give it up, Mr. Wake. Come on. Take it easy on him. Get after it. Don't let him get away. Move it. I'll have you shot if you let him get away.
青山。
He's gone. Come on, guys. We need to head him off.
For decades, the darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's skin slept fitfully in the dark place that was its home and prison. It was hungry and in pain. It dreamed of its nights of glory when the poet's writing had called it from the depths and given it a brief, terrible taste of power and freedom. The rock stars had stood.
人就有开始解释了。
Rose didn't know how the strange old lady got in her trailer, and she looked wrong somehow. The woman showed her teeth in an approximation of a smile and traced
就是那个Barbara 在控制 Rose 的时候的故事。被黑暗力量攻击。
This horror was everywhere I went, circling me. The cops didn't stand a chance. They were after a writer, not a monster.
对击。
This is James. Mulligan, Thornton, come in. Over.
Thornton here. James, we got both Wheeler and Rose in custody. They didn't put up a fight or anything. But they were... Hey, Mulligan, what are you doing? Come on.
Sit down and give me that. James, Mulligan here. Over. Go ahead, Mulligan. Over. We got Wheeler and Rose.
on that, Deputy Mulligan? Over. Well, whatever. Anyway, Rose is just being plain weird here. You better get Doc in to take a look at both. Over. Gotcha. You better get them here quickly. The Fed's gonna want to interview Wheeler. Over. Oh yeah, I bet he does.
I could see the lights at the radio station in the distance.
Mulligan out.
I imagined that the broadcast tower in the distance was part of the local radio station. Maine seemed like a decent guy. Perhaps he could give me directions to the coal mine.
哦，有了，就是黑暗物质会附身在物体身上面。
The darkness that was after me was trying to stop me. I wouldn't get through without a light.
所有的一切都跟光有关系啊，这游戏是要找到光。
There was no power to the searchlight.
总算是拿回手电筒了。有了。
It took me a moment to recognize the flashbang grenades. They were an ideal weapon for my situation.
弹簧弹也是一击必杀的武器，跟那个信号弹是一样的。
KBFFM with Pat Maine. It's Milt Peabody, Pat. What's on your mind, Milt? Well, I live near the trailer park, Pat, and there's a big ruckus going on over there. Well, that's just up the road from me, too. What's going on, do you know? I don't know, but there's a bunch of police cars there, lots of sirens, a helicopter buzzing around, and I think I heard some gunshots. Gunshots? Yes, sir, like from a pistol. So can you find out what's going on? Because it's just next door and they're popping off guns there. They're still shooting? No, it was maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. It sounds serious, Pat. I'm telling you, it don't sound like no party. I'm certainly going to give the station a call, Milt.
Touched by the dark presence, Rose was lost in a dreamland where everything was drawn in black and gray crayons. The old lady had promised her that all her wishes would come true. She would be Alan Wake's muse. She was smiling so hard it hurt her face. She crushed a bottle full of sleeping pills into the coffee.
你看他们喝了一整罐的安眠药，那应该早就死了吧？才不会睡成那样欸。对一颗用有点，只对一支用有点浪费。嗷！可以捡他的刀吗？啊，消失了！竟然给信号枪！看吧。少杀一只。快到了，哎呦哎呦！也不用省了吧，直接用掉就好了。虽然说这边应该直接撞进来就结束，那颗应该是可以省的啦。啊？外面已经轰成这样，还可以在里面广播，也是厉害。
Viewpoint, Lorna. Oh, here's a little surprise. The famous writer Alan Wake just walked in, folks. I'm going to see if I can talk him into an interview.
Come on in. Oh, I'm so glad you could find the time to do this, Mr. Wake.
Nowhere to run now, Dan Brown. You back away from me. Don't hurt.
Whoa. Everyone calm down. Put the gun down. We're all friends here, right?
Cool your jets, Nightingale. We got him. What the hell's the matter with you? There's a civilian in there.
I'll get you yet, even if it kills me. You hear me? You hear me, H.P. Lovecraft?
I had fallen off so many cliffs it was ridiculous. That's what you get for naming a book The Sudden Stop. It was probably good I hadn't had the chance to tell Maine where I was going. I'd have to lose the cops and find my own way to the mine.
刚刚那个 FBI 一直在讲的那些名字，什么 Lovecraft， 然后 Dan Brown 那些，全部都是知名的小说家、创作者。
Nightingale stared through the broken studio window into the dark woods. He turned around, started to walk out, but Maine grabbed his arm. Young man, you almost shot me. You don't shoot off rounds at people like that.
"出怪了！哎呦，哎，我跑进来了呢！拿到枪嘞，所以现在给一把枪。得开始用枪了。这边才是对的路啊，应该这边才是对的路。我先下去看一下，刚刚那边有怪走出来的那里是怎样。B 圈还在，代表会出一堆怪。
There was no sensible reason for the power company work lights to be here. It was almost as if they'd been left for someone like me to use.
这好像应该往上走的，这边好像才是正确的路。The darkness control the taken. 给我一颗。哎！我躲呢。我只会跑出来一大堆。刚刚那边应该先往上走，看一下到底那边去哪才对。先走回去好了。
The bulldozer's engine roared to life. Mud and rocks flew as it fought for traction. It crashed through the concrete wall and landed heavily.
对，等一下会被推土机攻击。这边直走应该还是对的路。 有点浪费。不会让我大老远爬这么高，结果一个保温瓶或是什么都不给我吧？那是一个信号塔。说实在，我也不记得这一段了，至少给个原稿吧。OK， 就不刻意爬到这里来，根本拿不到这个原稿哎。
Danny had stepped out, but what stumbled back in was something else, something alien, a monster. Walter tried to kill it, first with his fists.
是那个一开始广播那边讲的 Danny 跟那个丹尼还有华特那边的故事，这边就是来拿这个原稿而已啊。靠北，怎么来这个啊？好。让乌鸦真的超烦的。先下来。这边应该是无限生怪的地方了，麻烦。反正先离开这。不太想理他一只而已。
Sarah trusted her gut, and her gut said Agent Nightingale was an asshole.
Sarah 是那个警长。
Felt wrong, and it wasn't just the smell of stale booze. It was in the way he flashed his badge, pulled rank, the look in his eyes when he wanted answers. Where was Alan Wake?
Hello?
The most stubborn man I've ever met.
Alice? Alice?
Alan, I'm so afraid. Keeps me in the dark. Please help me. I look at you, Alan, and it's not you. Something else. Looking out from behind your eyes.
Alice, I'm here.
I'm so alone here. It's all gonna go to hell. You need to be careful. Cooperate.
The connection had been terrible, But that wasn't the only thing that hadn't been right with the call. She sounded wrong somehow, but she had called me. The pipe wrenched itself loose from the bridge's steel framework. Wrapped in darkness, it floated in midair.
12点了，我们就开到下一个检查点吧，下一个比较大的检查点。感觉会有怪。果然。
I could see a railway bridge up ahead, and a warehouse of some sort on the opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car from there. That was pursuing me was growing stronger, and it was taking over everything in its path.
这铁桶现在都会攻击人的。 在他们中间丢一个火炬是最快的。对，要这个，就是那个范围性的爆炸的那个灯光，打群体怪物的是很好用。
He pleaded for me to open the door. True to form, the asshole actually thought I would obey. I had no sympathy left, no guilt either, not for him. I took a moment to savor the scream. As a teenager, just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story, certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
对，强力手电筒，那个一般灯量会比一般的电池量会比一般的那个要再强。 一般手电筒要强，总之就是装备升级的意思。这一区我记得战斗蛮多的，他给很多这种瓶子就知道了。 大致用散弹枪打比较赚，不然小只要打太多发，对，不然用小枪要打太多发。Right, you can hurt them. 可以看 Night Spring 的。
We take the facts of our existence for granted, unaware that they are merely a thin veneer of desperate self-delusion, covering a vast cosmos of madness and horror. All too often, the stars are right. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, a family occasion. Journalist Alvin Durley's trip to study the local customs of an insular community in Night Springs has been less than successful.
反正这跟主线没什么关系，就不看了吧。我之后还有可以看的地方。
The darkness surged towards me, sucking everything loose from the ground into its depths, tugging at my clothes. I saw the flare the kidnapper had dropped and threw myself to.
这边是一个基站区。嗷！对，资源好多哦，用都用不完呢。
Never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine. The coal mine wasn't far now.
这是这游戏少数有的白天场景。
I wouldn't give him any other choice. A drowning man will clutch at a straw.
好，那我们今天先开到这，对，你看这边有写罐头堆击倒数，我就记得有这个东西，这是一个成就，原稿106个，咖啡罐、补给箱、广播节目，然后这个是 Nice Spring， 阅读告示牌、闹钟、夜泉有哦，这是比较后面的了，这些都是比较后面的东西。好。总之今天玩到的是第3章嘛，对不对？对，玩到第3章，我现在总共有6章啦，然后依照这个进度，礼拜5之前应该是玩得完的。好，那总之今天先开到这，感谢各位收看，然后还有感谢今天那位 Christopher 的追随。好，就这样，谢谢大家，大家晚安，拜拜。